Right, today, MOT welding day, my daily driver. I've got to do the Sills. MOT is due in a couple of weeks' time. It's been a bit of a battle getting this thing through MOT the last couple of years. That's the Project Range Rover. There's been a wedge of welding that I've done. I've done the rear cross member, I've done the front driver's side bulkhead, which is a bit of a shambles, but it's watertight. These or something. A bit pigeon snotty. Today, as I say, it's the Sills, the passenger side footwell, of which I had a bit of a prod around yesterday, and there's not a lot there. So that's a little bit of a prod. So basically, what you're looking at here is the underfelt, and all of this is the metal floor. That's the inner wing up there. So I've got to sort that lot out. And the sills down here, I've got to sort those out as well. Should be a laugh, shouldn't it? So first steps, get myself in the air. So I've got my nice CJ Autos hydraulic ramps to get it up in the air. So a few moments later, just a few moments later, and the ramps are up in the air. Very clever little system this. You drive onto the ramps flat, connects up the hydraulic pump, I don't know, about 30 seconds, gets it up into the air, and you've got these hingy things which drop down into a collar on the end of the ram to lock it in place. So actually a nice safe system for locking the car in an elevated position. Right, underneath, where are we? So you can see the sills. I've been along here with a hammer, predictably. The sills are not tied the whole length. This one's better. There's not too many problems on this one. There's a little bit of fat up here on the inner sill. When it comes to the inner sill area, it's actually pretty good. So you're looking up on the line where it joins the floor. There's no bubbling up there at all. This is all nicely done. I'll replace this piece here on the inner sill. So this is the driver's side. At the back here is a patch that a local garage did for me a few years ago, and to be honest, I'm going to tidy this lot up because it's solid, but it ain't pretty. So what I might do is unbolt the mount, see if I can pull the mount tight into the sill and re-weld it. As you can see, a lot of this original bitumen underseal is starting to flake off. It needs quite a lot of attention under here, but then it is getting on, the old Duchess. Right, the passenger side underneath is horrible. So you can see inner sill has pretty much gone along the bottom edge all the way along. Up the front we've got some, oh hang on a second. At the front, press the off button on my phone. At the front, this is the front mount. As you can see, it's not really connected to anything. So I've got a new front mount. The good news is, apart from the localised area there, which I'm just going to flat back, the actual inner sill area where it bolts onto the floor, again, is quite solid. So I think we're talking localised repairs, really. It's just another bit that needs my attention. Fucking thing. Oh, these things don't rust for a living, do they? Right, now, what effectively I need to do, should really use my creeper, shouldn't I? Got a bloody creeper. Access is dead easy to these sills. Pull out these plugs and take the outer cover off. And we're more or less there then. I'm going to have to find a way of wedging the door open because gravity's going to get on my tits today. But let me get the cover off and see what's happening underneath. Door's now successfully wedged open. A bit of woodwork does the job. Means we can get around. I could take the doors off. It's actually not that difficult to take the doors off. You've got to pop off a little clip at the top there and down there on the bottom, and the whole damn thing lifts up. But I can't be. That's too heavy. Don't need to. Okay, so sill cover removed. are actually not that bad. I think we're doing some very localised repairing here. Clearly I need a bit of paint over, under seal, rust, whatever treatment. But on the whole, this is just flaky under seal. So I'll get the wire brush on that. Obviously that bit needs to replace, so I'll cut a section out and weld it around to that edge. And this piece up here. But, excuse the noise of the creeper, which I finally managed to get around to dealing with. MOT tool standard number 1. He's alright. So a little bit of welding on here. So this side's the easy side, as I predicted, and that side's going to be the bastard. So what I'll do is I will wire cut this lot back and see how bad it goes. Any perforations, obviously, I'll deal with them. Oh look, that's not very healthy, is it? Bunged up drain hole. Normally clear those out every service, but good news is there's no water coming out. Okay, so been mega busy. Cutting, grinding, cleaning. A couple of problems we've got. First of all, that's where the floor support should go, and behind it is the A-post, the inside of the A-post, which is good, but the sill covering plate is shit. So I've made up a panel to that. That's the sill end plate, which I'm going to fix. Then I've got this piece, which has got a way around. This goes up and that then just seam it along the top, the trailing edge. That should cover in the main part of the sill, and I can weld the body mount back onto it, as you can see there. Then I've got this piece, which goes up as the outer sill. So that then boxes in the sill, oops, goes in like that, boxes in the sill, and should do all that job. But obviously I've got the problem with the A-post closing panel, which I'm just going to weld in first of all. Okay, so welded in that panel, not terribly pretty, but it's in and it's solid. I'm going to put a panel over the top of that. I'm going to cut this piece off first of all, so that rusty end there, cutting that off, putting a panel in ready to replace this sill closing panel. But as you can see, the sill closing now is largely in place. I've welded the mount back on and welded this inner sill section in. Oh, that's nice and warm still. I haven't done anything. I've tagged it on the inside, seamed it on the outside, and that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to make up this piece next. That piece right there. Right, so made up a new floor support. It's just tack welded in because it's only supporting the front edge of the floor. A closing panel, outer sill welded on, inner sill is welded on. There you go. Happy with that. Mounts on. Do the other side now. Right. I'm going to take the cover off the other side and see how horrible that is.